Topics on tonight's show is reclaiming, rebranding, repurposing words and using it to gain power or what have you. So, what do I mean by that? Well, one of the biggest examples that I can point at when it comes to this is the use of the N word. Now, of course, I'm not going to say it, it's not my place to say it. But obviously, the N word was used for a long time as a word to subjugate black people, to keep them down, to insult people, used as part of their oppression, both during slavery and beyond. And so, but there are black people who will use it together, as and you know, instead of using an ER, use an A, for example, like the hard ER, as some people might say. And I remember an old episode, I think it was Give Me a Break, and Nell Carter was the housekeeper on it, and I think the guy, her boss was like, well, why is it okay for black people to say the word but white people can't? And she was basically, well, um, you know, black people, when they say it to each other, it typically comes from a place of love, and when white people use it, it typically comes from a place of hate, and that's the difference. So, I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that if I'm at karaoke and I want to sing "Move, Get Out the Way" from Ludacris, it doesn't mean that if I actually sang everything verbatim that it would mean that I was coming at it from a place of hate. But you don't know that, and so I'm just not going to say the word anyway. Only time I've ever really said the word is if you're directly quoting somebody. Now, if I'm directly quoting somebody, or if people like who are in the news are directly quoting somebody verbatim, I have no problem with that. But some people do, but I have no problem with. I take no issue with that. But that's a completely different thing. Um, you know, I can't come up to somebody and I'm like, hey, what's up, my whatever. It's not my place. It's not my word to use. But black people have used it and reclaimed it and repurposed it in a way to kind of try and take away the power that it has. And has it worked? I mean, clearly there are still people that use it for racist meanings or whatever, but it does take away some of the power because they're using that. Other words that have been rebranded or reclaimed or repurposed, like two different ways, like when using the word slut, like there's two different ways, like people using it, to describe themselves, as be like, trying to take the negative connotation of slut shaming away, trying to take away the how people treat women for embracing their sexuality, whereas you treat men like they're God's gift to earth if they're able to go out and sleep with the world, but if women go out and enjoy themselves sexually, they're labeled sluts. So women have often reclaimed and repurposed the word and embraced the word sluts to mean something that's not negative. But repurposing it, I've repurposed the word here on the podcast when I'm doing my Unraveling Toxic Masculinity videos, because when the guys are arguing the points about how women control the sexual marketplace or what have you, or their typical complaint about how dating is not fair, the sexual marketplace is not fair, blah blah blah. I was like, well, if men wouldn't be such sluts, then maybe the sexual marketplace would be different. But because you keep supplying it, then obviously the women are going in a heteronormative type of conversation. The women are going to be the ones who are controlling the access to it, because they don't have to be the ones supplying anything. They're to be the ones who are going to say yay or nay, because you're the ones who's making it artificially non-scarce resource, so to speak. So why do I bring this up? So why have I brought this up? It's because I've made several videos and I've made several points about this issue, about the term from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. And I have no problem with the idea and the concept of a free Palestine. I think we should have a two-state solution. I think we're a while away from being able to accomplish that. You need to have Hamas gone. You need to have Netanyahu gone and Likud gone. You need to have real change bringers in control of both the Palestinian territories and in charge of Israel in order for that to move forward. But I take no issue in general with people saying Free Palestine. Now, again, the people that come on to Jewish creator videos who say Free Palestine on topics that are not relevant to the Israeli-Palestinian issue, like my Hanukkah videos, that's anti-Semitic. But the general idea of a Free Palestine, I take no issue with. But the words "from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free" is problematic for several reasons. One, it was used by Hamas to justify and call for the ethnic cleansing and or killing of all of the Jews in the area. So if you're going to be using the words to call for the ethnic cleansing of Jews in the area, then maybe those words get tainted at that point, especially since Hamas is in control of Gaza and they have power over there. So perhaps it's time to stop using that. Much like the Nazis took the swastika and made it unusable by people who might want to otherwise use the twisted cross. So there's that. But there's the other thing, is that you have these people who are being very critical openly of Zionism. And Zionism originally, before the goalposts got moved, were people who believed that the entire area from up north, Lebanon, down to the Red Sea, from Jordan and Syria over to the Sinai Peninsula and to the Mediterranean, that all of that belonged to Jews only. So when you're saying from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, that to me implies that the entire area is Palestinian. What happens to the Jews? To me, that still implies an ethnic cleansing, just like the Zionists who believe the entire area only belongs to the Jews would have to then ethnically cleanse the other folks who might feel that they also have a claim ethnically, religiously, or what otherwise to the area as well. So, but how do you repurpose, rebrand, reclaim that? Well, I saw somebody else, one of my friends shared the idea with me. I found the post, and somebody else, and I think it's somebody who's Jewish, said, "From the river to the sea, everybody safe and free." I have no problem with this. I have no problem with that. From the river to the sea, everybody's safe and free. Why do I? Because it's inclusive. It means everybody. So there's no way that Hamas could then take it and use it to justify any sort of ethnic cleansing or genocide on their behalf, because everyone's safe and free means everyone's safe and free. And it doesn't then call for, it doesn't say anything about what the borders are going to be. It doesn't say anything about anything other than the fact that we want every person, every human being to be safe, and we want every human being to be free. And that's the baseline. So to me, that's how you do rebranding. That's how you repurpose. That's how you reclaim a phrase and use it in such a way to be positive. So, but I'm at the point where if you've listened to me already and insist on using "from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free," and you insist on using that phrase and are not going to listen to a Jewish person when the Jewish person tells you that phrase makes Jewish people uncomfortable. I mean, even Cenk Younger, who I rail about on this channel all the time, gets it. He gets that. He got that point. And he's been railing about Israel and been saying that Palestinians should be free as well, and been heavily criticizing Netanyahu, which I have also been doing. But he even gets that. But switching it up to "from the river to the sea, everyone's safe and free," I endorse that. My name is Liberal Dan, and I endorse this message. What do you think? Do you believe that that's a good change? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and have a good day.